got to talk about our friends over at DraftKings. You know, the leaders in the sports booking realm. The guys that are not only safe, but secure and reliable. We talk about them. And we talk about how we got to have promo codes, right? Because if we don't have a promo code, we're not talking about them. So it's this simple. First time users out there. Deke was a first-time user. We all were first-time users. But when it's your first time on DraftKings, if you use the promo code MOATS, simply MOATS, you'll receive up to $1,000 in deposit bonus money. It's a dope concept. It's essentially free money. Just type in the name MOATS and you get free money when you put your money in. Who could beat that, baby? Who could beat that? But when we talk about safe, secure, reliable, this is the app that you want, man. DraftKings Sportsbook, baby. They are number one, and that's why we like them, baby. It's that simple. Yeah. It is that simple. But we do know occasionally people have problems with gambling. We've all had problems. I've had problems.
We want people to have fun gambling.
Yes. And the best way to do that, if you know somebody that has an issue, what you got to do? You got to call 1-800-GAMBLER. Oh, yeah, 1-800-GAMBLER. If you got a problem with gambling, crisis counseling, referral services, call 1-800-GAMBLER. But position groups, man. Start at quarterback. You got to go 7 here, regardless of if Baker is out there. Because if Baker is out there, he's still compromised. In case Keenum is very much limited, 7's the guy in this matchup. 100% for me.
Yeah, it's not even a question for me. Big Ben over Baker, Big Ben over Case Keenum.
Yeah, that's my.
I don't really care. He owns Cleveland. He owns the Browns. I think his record's like
25-3-1 or something like
24-3-1.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and he even made the joke in the press conference of like, now I'm finally not the winningest quarterback up in Cleveland. Because I guess Baker's rattled off enough wins over his past couple years to do it. No, I'm definitely going Ben over either of those quarterbacks. That's not even a question.
100%. Running back, though. Well, this is where it's interesting.
Who's playing?
If Chubb is out there, I go Chubb. If Chubb isn't out there and it's Dearness Johnson, then I go Najee.
Right.
But right now, we don't know who's playing because Chubb is listed as questionable. We know he's coming back from the calf injury. He's missed the past 2 games or 3 games? It's definitely been 2.
It's been a few, yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know how many he's missed. But if he's out there and he's healthy, Nick Chubb is the guy. I mean, 1,000-yard rusher, premier back in this league. He gets the job done. He's been doing that since he came in this league, man. Really, really good player. But yeah, if he's not out there, then you got to go with Najee in this group over here, for me personally.
Oh, yeah, that's not a question either. Yeah. The pass catching, too.
Yeah.
The only thing that Johnson has over Najee is the offensive line.
Correct.
So could there be a world where he maybe has a better game than Najee?
Oh, yeah,
maybe, but I still think Najee's the better running back.
Yeah, because you got to think about the matchup. That's kind of what we talked about when we said, I forgot which game it was like, hey, man, our group versus that defense versus their group versus our defense, even though they're more talented, they got the tougher matchup.
Yeah, if you want to spin, because there's multiple ways you could look at it. If you want to spin it to your side of the argument, you could do that for this game coming up.
Because I'm like, our inside linebackers versus that O-line right now, it's looking real favorable for their running game, just based on that. But I don't think anyone would take Dearness over Najee if we're just saying which player you like more.
The factor that's in our favor, though, for our run defense is, you mentioned it before, the wide receivers being banged up a little bit, but also, from my standpoint, is the limited quarterback where we can stack the box. So, like, if we could sell out on the run there, I'm still having hope that we bottle up Johnson for like less than 60 yards or something.
The only way I feel like we'll be able
either
to
running back,
we're only stacking that box if those receivers aren't healthy. If those receivers are healthy, Case Keenum can hit the play action pass. We know that. Baker can hit the play action pass. We know that. You know what I mean? Like, those guys create enough separation as well. Man. But yeah, it really just depends on if Chubb is out there. Chubb out there, you got to go Chubb. Chubb, I agree. No Chubb, you go with Najee.
I don't know if anyone would disagree with that either. Yeah. I don't think that's that hot of a debate.
Yeah, I would agree.
What do you want next?
Wide receivers. This is nothing, because the injuries just makes it intriguing. Even though they're all practicing in some capacity, it's like they're all hurt. Think about that, man.
Here's the tough thing. If they were all let's just say they were all healthy.
Well, I was taking Cleveland. I did that beforehand. because I like the
Before the
Odell.
season.
Right, I like the Odell element.
Well,
Him
we're
and
missing-
Jarvis is like that's big time productivity.
That's the thing. We're missing Juju. How much does James Washington play? I do think as it sits right now, I'll take our receivers over theirs because we actually use them. Claypool's been having a decent year. Not the elite receiver that we've been hoping, but also Deontay Johnson. They've been playing better than any of their receivers.
So you would go Johnson, Claypool, and Ray?
I'm hoping James Washington.
No, because it's not. It's been Ray. You got to say Ray versus OBJ, Jarvis, and Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Peoples-Jones has been playing the best out of all three.
What you got to think? Odell has been hurt. Jarvis Landry's been hurt. Jarvis was on IR for how many weeks? He just came back. Denver was his first game back. Yeah.
We do a good job against them though too. I'm just not really concerned about them. I'm gonna go with us.
I'm definitely going Cleveland receivers, man.
If healthy,
If those guys are out there, I gotta go with them. They just threaten it more. I mean, put it like this, right? A banged up Odell is gonna scare me more than a healthy Ray McCloud. And Ray is gonna be on this field. You know it. I'm just preparing. I'm preparing now. We know what's going to happen. Just preparing for it. And then we're going to hear some other excuse of why James Washington wasn't out there. I'm just preparing myself.
Is James Washington an X factor in your decision?
He would be, yes. If I knew he was going to be the guy and he's healthy, because Chase and Deontay have been playing really well this season. I'm loving what I'm seeing from Deontay in terms of just how much more focused he is on his hands and just his big playability. We've seen how many weeks now with him taking the top off of defense.
We didn't talk about this because we weren't recording after the Seahawks game, but I think it was the one they went off sides. It was down. Was it red zone? Were we at the 30 or 40? And Ben tossed it up.
Yeah, he had his one. I know.
Bread basket. But I guess that doesn't count as a drop.
It does. He had his one, though. We'll let him slide. That's how I knew it was bad. I was like, dang, go, man. If that's going to happen, Lord, I got to be sick, man. Because Deontay would never do this. He would never do this. It would have, bro. It definitely would have, man.
I think I'm taking even Claypool and Deontay over Beckham and Landry, though.
See, I'm not.
I think Landry's always overrated. But see, I don't. Beckham, I look healthy. I could see the argument.
To me, I look at Landry like a higher end version of what Juju is in the slot. In terms of people, I think initially we viewed Juju as a number 2 outside receiver, right? And everybody wanted to put him in that category. They tried to do the same with Jarvis. Once Jarvis started playing in that slot and being utilized more in that just tough guy role of we're going to get you the ball, you're going to stiff arm guys. He's like a running back out there. Honestly, that's what we always say. Whenever we play Jarvis, we're like, yo, he is a running back that just plays wide receiver. You watch how that man runs. You watch how he is after the catch. He's a running back. That's what he plays like. So to me, when I see them utilizing like that, I understand it. And that's why I look at him and just say, no, he is great at that role. Now, if you try to put him on the outside, he's limited. He's not going to scare you the same. But the way that they've been using him is kind of how Miami started using him at the end down there. And that part is why I'm just like, he excels in that role. So I just, like I said, I got to go. If it's Jarvis and Odell out there, I'm rolling with them dudes, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tight ends. I'm trying to talk myself into us.
I can't do that either.
I really am. If we keep using Freiermuth the way we did last week, then I think it's a legitimate case just because they don't use their tight ends or even just their weapons as much as you probably would if you had a different quarterback. But
I can't do it.
I can't either. Yeah. I mean, Hooper and Njoku.
As much as I would love it, man, I do think down the line, the more Pat emerges,
maybe the next matchup.
Right, next matchup, I think it'll be different because if we've seen where Pat has consistently been used and he's continuing to flourish, along with Ebron continuing not to drop the ball in my beard.
That's really it because I checked his stats. I think he has 40 yards on the year. So his main thing is just don't drop it.
Just don't drop it.
And that's a plus for us.
Yeah, but I can't pick that over Austin Hooper and David.
Yeah, I can't right now. Yeah. I'm with you on that. Offensive line, that one's Browns. We even got to talk about it.
Not even a question.
Okay. Defense now.
This is interesting. Edge rushers.
Yeah, there are some good matchups. Man, this
edge rushers. Really tough.
Right. Jaden Clowney right now versus Highsmith.
Mm-hmm. You look at the numbers as well.
Because we'll just say TJ, Myles Garrett, Wash.
Fair. Right.
We have Ingram, though. Who's their third guy? I didn't even check this one.
Oh, man.
Because that's the case for us.
Tough. That's tough.
Okay, so they have... Man, I can't pronounce this dude's name. I'll pronounce it.
You talking about Takk McKinley? No. Tack is their third guy, though.
He's going to be their third guy?
Tack's their third guy, yeah.
Okay. Melvin Ingram versus him?
Dude, I gotta go Cleveland. I ain't gonna lie.
With how Clowney's playing, is that the main factor?
Yes.
That would be what I'm thinking too.
Absolutely, because he's separating himself right now. If he's gonna play like that, Alex hasn't done that. Now, I like Alex a lot. Trust me, Alex is my dude, man, and we get to talk to him. Right, that's the exciting part. We can get a chance to holler at him on the phone, man. Have a little interview with him. But to me, man, Clowney, if Clowney can play like that, dude, Clowney is different. Like, that's why you draft a guy like that number 1 overall, right? Because Clowney is Clowney. If he's gonna do that,
I know. This is a tough one for me.
Yeah.
Could we do the 3-man rotation that we did in the Bills game?
And my other question to you is this then.
Okay.
We always talk about their matchup. If you're Cleveland's rushers, how are you feeling about these tackles that you're going to be facing versus if you are the Steelers rushers and the tackles you're going to be dealing with? I gotta go Cleveland. I don't even like Cleveland. I gotta go Cleveland right there, man. I get it. Yeah, man.
Can I predict the upset story?
I would love it.
Can I predict the upset?
I would love
side story of this one? Our edge rushers outperform the Browns.
I hope so. Put it like, if we can stop the run, I do think that happens.
Despite the matchup, that's what I'm saying.
We would have to stop the run. I just don't. My biggest concern is us stopping their run because of what we've been talking about. I mean, we brought up Devin Bush. We brought up Joe Schobert. We talked about the injuries that we have in the interior part of this D-line. That's for real. And this isn't a Cleveland team that's going to come out here and try to be something that they're not. They're not going to come out here and line up in the shotgun and try to throw the ball. No, they're going to run dive, power, counter, right downhill, right to where we've been struggling at. And they're going to make Devin have to tackle. They're going to make Joe have to tackle. They're going to make you have to fit those run gaps where you're supposed to. So that's the only part where I'm just like, if we can get it to that, I love TJ versus an injured Jack Conklin. I love that. Or you want to put the back up. I love that. But I just don't know if we can get to that. That's my part.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I'll lean us then. Just because my case is I'm predicting us to play better.
Yeah.
In this game coming up.
Fair enough.
And it's almost like I'm predicting Highsmith to keep it up.
To keep doing that, correct.
Keep it up. And if he's, I don't want to say if he's not, but there is the back pocket of Melvin Ingram, 3-man rotation.
And Alex hasn't played bad.
No, he
just had a breakout game. That's the difference. It looked like, whoa, okay, if you're doing that, that changes a lot for us. Problem is, it's a small sample size. That's the only part right now. If he's been doing this for multiple games, we're like, yo, he's out here with 3.5 sacks, 4 sacks. We singing a different tone. But right now, we're looking and we're like, you got your 1.5 sacks, but it all came from that one game. So that's the other part where you're just like, all right,
I get it.
It's got to be a little bit. Whereas with those guys, it's proven productivity and it's high pedigree. Tack is a 1st-round pick as well. That's 3 first-rounders. 2 of those guys being number 1 overall picks. Think about that, bro. Think about that.
They got something good going on the edge rush. I'll give them that. D-line. I got to go with us.
Yeah.
Malik Jackson, who's solid.
He's not Cam.
Yeah,
they don't have a Cam up.
He's on the back end of his career too. We got Malik McDowell, and it goes back to some of our other defensive line matches that we talked about. These guys got some dudes. They look all right. They got some depth here and there, but they just don't have that elite guy like Cam Hayward.
Cam is the stud.
If it wasn't for TJ Watt, man, from Steeler Nation, I'm sure we'd be pumping Cam Hayward for Defensive Player of the Year a little bit more right now.
100% would be. But it's because it's TJ and we want TJ to win it a little bit more.
He's got the best case.
That's why absolutely.
But Cam Hayward's been playing awesome this year.
Because you think Cam, the whole argument has been Cam versus Aaron Donald. And going into that Seahawks game, nobody was talking about TJ. It was Cam, Aaron Donald. If Aaron Donald's the front runner, then it's got to be Cam. If Aaron Donald's just look at Cam's numbers, it's always Cam. And then when TJ did what he did in the overtime, that's when it was no. TJ's player of the year. T just pushed him out there. This whole time we've been talking Cam though, because Cam has been the steady force. Cam has been the consistent guy that's been playing out of his mind this season, not just as a pass rusher, but as a run stopper as well, man. So for me, I'm like, man, this is a no-brainer. I gotta go with our D-line, man.
Definitely. Middle linebackers.
I'm going us.
I am too. They don't have JOK. Yeah. Maybe they have a little bit better case, but as much as we're disappointed in Devin Bush,
he's still more productive than what they've had over there in Joe Schobert as well.
I agree.
I mean, even when you throw in Spillane as the third guy, like, to me, I just feel like our group was more productive. Now, are they playing to their expectations? Not at all. But they're still a more productive group, but just a higher pedigree group for me.
Couldn't have said it better. Cornerbacks, I got to go with them.
I was surprised you went with them, man. I thought you was going to roll with your boy Pierre Island, Sutton, JoJo, Jumpman.
No, they've been playing pretty good thus far.
Bro. They haven't generated the turnovers, but they have definitely been playing well. Unfortunately, I have to go with them as well.
There is the scenario where Trey Norwood keeps it up. Cam Sutton as the second guy, though. That's what's kind of tough.
Especially when you're looking at the group that they have.
He hasn't played that bad.
No, he hasn't.
Year,
not at all. But
But we've had Pierre in the cornerback 2 spot getting burned. That's the problem.
And my thing is, when I look at Cleveland, it's not just their starters. They have depth as well. We talk about Troy Hill. We talk about Greedy Williams. They have guys. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Even at the safety spot, right? We'll get to that, but they still have depth behind. Like Grant Delpit and LeConte.
He was playing a lot for them last year, right? And he got hurt. That was kind of devastating for him a little bit.
So it's like when you talk about those guys, they have a legit secondary with depth. They just don't generate the turnovers, but they got depth. They got guys out there, man.
Yeah, I'm going to go with them. Now we got safeties. This one's easy. Oh, man. Edmonds has been playing as good as I thought.
It has Minka? Because he's the other one who's been under fire. Devin has been under fire, but people have been talking about Minka. People have definitely been talking about Minka, man.
He's been getting burned, though. Maybe a missed tackle here and there. But he's at least been getting physical, which I really like this season.
But people have definitely been talking about Minka, man. In terms of if he is as good as advertised, were the previous years a fluke? Like the lack of he was just Coach T was just asked about what's up with Minka and he's not having turnovers. Like, think about that.
That goes back to my whole turnover question, though. Are we just, hey, Minka, you need a turnover this game for you to be considered a good player? I don't know if we could say that because you go back to Darrell Revis or lockdown cornerbacks.
But it's
turnovers can fluctuate.
The only reason I think it was different though with Revis because it was a clear, distinct. People aren't trying him. They're not looking at him. Whereas with Minka this season, the big play, obviously, everybody talks about is the Raiders play, right? Oh, man, Minka's right there. He shouldn't have been on that. He'd have been there.
But we shut it down.
Absolutely. So for me, has Minka not generated the turnover? Sure, but that's not 100% on him. The tackling, has it improved? Yes. Is it where it needs to be? Not at all. But for him, it's a huge step forward because of what it used to be.
Yeah.
So for me, when I think of that and our safeties versus their safeties, put it like this. I love our talent. I would take our players over their players, but I do think right now their group is playing better, if that makes sense.
Goes back to what we said too. Could we say a little matchup based as well?
Yeah. Because you know what I think of? Remember Buffalo, we talked about them, right? We said Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer. We would still take Edmonds and Minka talent-wise, even though those safeties play better together right now. And when I think of this matchup with our safety versus theirs, I just think they're playing better, but I don't think that they will. I think our ceiling is higher. Put it like that. I think we have more talent in that group than they do.
Or what about what I said with the outside linebackers? Our safeties outplay them in this game.
I can easily see that. And to me, Minka is the wild card. Minka's the X factor. Minka is like the Cam Hayward, right? In terms of Minka can change a game in a second. Like that's what to me, when I look at Cleveland's secondary, I don't feel like John Johnson the third, put some respect on it, or Ronnie Harrison Jr., put some respect on his name as well. And shout out to my name, Arthur Most the third, then since we just throwing all these,
nice
suffix and stuff like that. But yeah, I just don't think that those guys can change the game the way that Minka can. And we've seen Minka do this on numerous occasions as well. And when you date back to the year ago, this was the game where it happened. This was the game when Minka did change the play. He took the pick six, started out, blew the game wide open. To me, I lean on that because to me, top tier talent like Minka, it's only a matter of time before they make another play. Now, we ain't saying that he gonna go out here and give me the best in the nation. I don't want that type. You know what I mean? You keep that Jamal Adams over there. This isn't
Sunday Night Football.
You know what I'm doing that. You keep that over there. But to me, I do think that Minka, this will be a game for him. I would like to see that be a game for him. So I will go with our safeties because of that. Call it blind faith, call it being biased, whatever. But this is the one I just feel like Minka, I lean towards him right here.
Yeah, maybe Edmonds bounces back after these last two. Maybe it was just us not doing the podcast that threw Edmonds off
maybe that was
bit.
It, man. Maybe that was it.
Because I feel like he was having another solid season up to these last two games. And then, yeah, for sure, I'm with you. Minka has not been having as bad of a season as people were saying. I don't know what PFF's grade for him is now, but it was like last 2 weeks ago. And I actually thought he was having a pretty damn good season.
People have been trying to crush him a little bit.
No, I think he's playing fine.
The problem is his expectations. The expectation is what? When he comes in, he's supposed to generate a ton of turnovers. He's supposed to have splash. And that's the difference right now. We haven't seen the splash. And when you don't have the splash, it's just like, well, what does he do that's so special? And that's the part where people are getting on him. But it's like, trust me, he still takes away routes. He still is in place. He's, like I said, improved his tackling. To me, the turnovers will come. At times, though, it can be like that, man, where you're just like, yo, it's just, I don't have the action right now. I do think that changes, though.
When I was even going to, you brought up Revis, or I brought up Revis, and you talked about cornerbacks, how sometimes they won't try. I bet you if we go back on like Palomalu's stat reference and Ed Reed, they have a season where they have like 8 picks. The next season's like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But they're still that impactful of a player. I'm not saying Minka Fitzpatrick's to those guys' level just yet, but I think you can't just be all gun-ho. He doesn't have a turnover. He's playing bad. That just doesn't really make sense to me.
I would agree
because from what I've been seeing, I really have thought he's been playing pretty good this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with our safeties, though.
That's what I'm doing, man. So, yeah.
Special teams, we need to hit on that at all?
Man, look, man, we have PH3 on the show, so you know what? We always rock with PH3. If you're special and you come on our show, man, you definitely going to get the love that we need from you, man.
I don't even know who their kicker is. I said I was going to be better at this.
Was it Chase McLaughlin? And
I said I was going to come in. I was going to know all their special teams guys another week. Just
but to me, Boz, unless we're talking Justin Tucker, I'm taking Boz.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
Especially this year.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with it right now. He's hitting from 50 consistently. Presley is showing in big moments that he can still boom punch the way he needs to. So until I see otherwise, along with us already having a special teams touchdown, think about that. We blocked the whole punt. Changed the game in Buffalo, right?
And we got screwed in Green Bay on that call.
Yeah. So until I see less of that or other teams doing that, it's hard for me to pick against our special teams unit right now.
And Ray McLeod catching everything, 10 yards, consistent. We're waiting for him to break one open, but still, that's not a knock on us.
And they got the strongest jaw in the land, Danny Smith, Mr. 1,000 bubblegum chews a night. So as long as he's still there, you know I'm going to keep rocking with the unit, baby.